When deploying Windows to multiple workstations, a common method is to create an image of a reference system that contains all of our system updates, applications, and Windows features that we want to be present on all of our workstations. And before we can image that reference system, we will need to use a utility known as sysprep so that Windows will generate a new SID every time we deploy that image. Now, typically, we also use an answer file to automate that initial setup process. Creating an answer file can be a complex process, usually done using a utility known as the Windows System Image Manager. Lucky for us, CompTIA has already created an answer file for us. Let's go take a look at that. Log on to PC1 as admin, as I have here, and let's open up File Explorer. Navigate to your C drive, and then Lab Files. And inside Lab Files, look for a file known as unattend. Right-click on unattend, and choose Edit with Notepad++. This is a typical answer file that we would use when deploying our image. And you can see it answers a lot of those questions that we would normally see during the out-of-box experience or that OOBE phase of installing Windows, like choosing a system locale and language. We can also see that this answer file creates a new user account named Sam, adds that user account to the administrators group, and sets the password. Now the password has been hashed, so it's not stored as plain text. It also agrees to the EULA and hides that as we're deploying that image. So that's the answer file we'll use in just a moment. Go ahead and close Notepad++ and File Explorer, and let's open up a command prompt. Go to your Start menu and type in CMD and hit Enter. We're going to use a little utility by sysinternals that's going to allow me to view my system's SID or security identifier. First, let's take a look at our current SID. Type in /labfiles, /sysinternals, /psgetsid, and add a dash accept EULA and hit Enter. This will display your current SID. Make a note of that so we can compare it to our SID after we run sysprep. Now to run sysprep, type in /Windows, /system32, /sysprep, /sysprep.exe, and then we're going to add some switches. We want to add a /generalize. This is what's going to strip out all of that unique information. We're going to add a /OOBE to force it to go into that out-of-box experience when it first reboots, and then a /reboot to cause the system to reboot when sysprep is finished. We also want to point it to our answer file that we looked at earlier. For that, /unattend, /labfiles, /unattend.xml. Make sure there's no spaces in that path. Enter that command as a one-liner, and then hit Enter. What we should see is that sysprep begins, and it starts to strip out that unique information. This will take a few minutes, and our system will reboot several times. Once sysprep finishes and our system reboots, go ahead and log in as Sam, that user account we created via the answer file. This might take a minute longer than normal as it has to build up his profile for the first time. Once you get logged in as Sam, let's verify that our SID has indeed been changed. Open up a command prompt, and we'll use that same sysinternals utility. Type in /labfiles, /sysinternals, /psgetsid, and add a dash accept EULA and hit Enter. And what you should see is that we have a complete new SID. Now also keep in mind that when we ran sysprep, we used the reboot option, which is basically reapplying the image to the same hardware. In the real world, I'd most likely use the shutdown rather than the reboot switch. That's going to give me the opportunity to capture an image of that sysprep drive and then deploy it across multiple workstations. And now we've successfully deployed a Windows image.